channel to share what my day-to-day life is like. Today, I want to take just a few minutes to share what it is like to navigate two of the medical conditions I have during the winter. And I'm specifically going to talk about Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome and Postural, Orthostatic, Tachycardia Syndrome, also known as POTS. And if I pronounce either one of those wrong, you have my apologies. From here on out, I'm going to call them EDS and POTS. Over the past month or so, I have mentioned several times that this is the time of year where I make less videos of me out and about and more videos at home where I'm just sitting and talking honestly with you. Today's video is going to be an opportunity for me to explain exactly why that is. If you are new here, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you can see future videos. Living with chronic conditions like EDS and POTS can definitely be challenging, but for me personally, the winter months are the worst. Before I dive in to the unique challenges winter months bring me, I'm going to give a little bit of an overview of these conditions. Now, nothing in this video should be taken as medical advice. POTS is a form of dysautonomia. It's a dysfunction of the autonomic nervous system. One of the main symptoms is an increased heart rate and decreased blood pressure when standing. It is a lot more complicated than that though. POTS causes dizziness and sometimes fainting. One of my biggest symptoms is what I like to call sinking, because I don't pass all the way out very often, but I will go down to the ground very quickly. And that is one of the reasons I use a wheelchair. EDS is a connective tissue disorder. It affects the joints, the skin, and a lot of other organs because we, as humans, are just a bunch of connective tissue. It also has tons of conditions that go along with it that some people get, but not all people. It does affect everyone differently. I have some pretty severe symptoms while other people may have less, and it's a wide spectrum. So I can only speak for my experience with the disease, but if you have either one of these conditions I'm talking about today, feel free to leave a comment and let me know how they affect you, especially in the winter. All right, now I am going to talk about how winter makes these conditions worse for me. Cold weather is tough. I live in Northeast Ohio. It is cold. The cold can start as early as October and it can last till March or April. The last few winters haven't been too bad and this winter doesn't seem to be that bad, but it's still cold. The drop in temperature does cause an increase in both joint pain and joint stiffness. So it is just harder for me to move around in the winter. Also, the cold does trigger my POTS symptoms. So I have difficulty doing even the most basic tasks a lot of time in the winter, let alone going out. One of the biggest challenges I face is trying to stay warm. My body doesn't regulate temperature very good. So once I'm cold, I am cold. And it's not something that's as easy as just put on more clothes. It is like a deep coldness that I don't even know if I can describe, but it's hard to get rid of. If I go outside for even like 20 minutes on a very cold day, I'm cold for hours. I shake, I have trouble regulating my heartbeat. It is a whole mess. So to avoid that, sometimes I just have to stay inside. Mobility also becomes significantly harder in the winter. I mentioned earlier that my joints hurt more, but I am also very prone to dislocations because of EDS, especially in my hips and my knees. So I will use a wheelchair most of the time to be able to safely navigate public spaces. If it's snowing, I can't use a manual wheelchair. If it's a light snow and I have someone to push me, that's all right. But if I'm trying to use my chair independently, any snow makes it incredibly hard. If I were to try to walk and fell on ice, given that my bones have some issues, if I were to fall and break something, it could get complicated. I could have a hard time healing. Winter can also take a huge toll on mental health, especially for a chronically ill person. Limited sunlight and stress are bad enough, without throwing in all the things I've talked about in this video that make life just more challenging. Taking care of my mental well-being is always a priority, and because of that, I cannot always daily vlog this time of year. I mean, and that goes for year-round. You will notice that I put videos up almost every day, but sometimes I take breaks of 3 to 4 days, and that is just kind of a self-care break. I love sharing my life with all of you, but sometimes I need space for myself and for my family. And I feel like that happens a little more in the winter. Navigating the winter with POTS and EDS can be a difficult journey. If you're watching this and can relate, leave me a comment below and let me know about your experiences. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video helpful or insightful in any way, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs to watch it, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do this almost every day, so I will see you soon.